Hi, we're coming to you live from the Shure Archives, and today we are going to talk about survivor microphones. These are microphones that have been through terrible things, and yet they still work. These come to the archives in a variety of ways. The three microphones that I'm going to show you today came to us from Shure customers. So the microphone that I'm talking to you through right now is something that was found on a highway in Newfoundland in 2005. We're a little unclear what it went through exactly because when the person came across it, this is what it looked like. Looks kind of like it's wearing a jaunty hat, but they didn't know how many vehicles had run it over. They didn't know if a moose had stepped on it or whatever. But the point being, it looked like this when this person picked it up. He took it back to his home studio. He recorded some vocals through it for an album and then sent it to us, and it still works. So the microphone that I'm talking into right now, this SM57, was a survivor of Superstorm Sandy, which I believe hit in late 2012. This particular microphone belonged to a studio on the Hudson River in New Jersey, and I grew up in New York and remember the Hudson River as being not a kind of river that you would want to swim in. It's a little better now. It was a little better in 2012, but not that much better. And this microphone, along with a bunch of others in the studio, was submerged in floodwaters for at least a couple of days. I think it was maybe a week. And the studio owners came back, took their equipment, tried to see what they could salvage. They found this SM57, they dried it out, and they plugged it in, and it still worked. So the microphone I am talking into right now is a Super 55 that belonged to a singer based out of Los Angeles. And he received this microphone as a gift, and he was practicing at the studio late one night. On his way home, as he pulled onto the freeway, he saw something slide across the hood of his car, and he realized, oh no, I left my microphone on the hood of the car. So it's lying in the middle of the roadway. He pulls to the side to wait for traffic to clear, and while he was waiting, it got run over by an SUV. So, picked it up off the roadway, he brought it back to the studio, and on a lark, he decided, I'm just going to plug it in and see what happens, and it worked perfectly. So all the microphones I've talked about today really highlight the quality of Shure products. We do so much testing before we release our products into the world. But the tests that we do are the tests, we try to predict what users are going to do with our products. Sometimes, though, they will do some real world testing for us that maybe we had not thought about before sending these things out to you.